What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another All Things Grifball podcast, where we just talk about Grifball. I'm joined again by D-Gleek and Rage. As always, they will be here for every single one. Say what's up, boys.
Hello.
No.
Okay. And then this time we have a special guest. Known him since Reach 2011. People know him as Panthro or IX Apocryphal. All the newer players know him as Squeeps. What's up, Josh?
It was really good.
What's really good is not being a Giants fan right now.
Wow, dude. I've already
Yikes.
thrown shade. Like,
Go Washington football team. But all right, let's get started. Everybody here knows, obviously, with the most exciting time of the bid season or the draft season, the draft actually happened last night. So we're going to go over that really quick, and then we'll do our power rankings for everybody to see, and we'll talk shit about players and captains and how bad they are at picking. First, we're going to talk about that format. Holy fuck.
It was perfect. It was flawless. It wasn't confusing whatsoever.
Kids,
I spent
ahead.
20 minutes going through all the trades, all the draft trades, and and with the one snake round, which made things look really confusing. And this is the actual order, going left to right, all 5 rounds of what happened.
Yeah.
So among all the trades, the big highlights were Priest traded to have 2 first-round picks and apparently 3 fourth-round picks. I think Zim was the only person not to do a trade. I don't think Saints didn't either.
Zim or Saints did not trade.
Yeah. Zeg for one thing traded I think every single pick except for his first.
Digital didn't trade, did he?
Digital did not trade.
I don't
So
think
he's
digital. Yeah.
He's still
Yeah.
pretty fast.
So yeah, just having it color coded, you can see it was a nightmare.
Yeah, this is point or slide A, B, and C on why we don't do shit last minute. It was just bad and unprepared. So
I will
obviously
say,
a lot
though,
happened.
It was fun.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was fun. I'm
It was
happy that it
interesting,
happened.
for
Fun.
sure. But I think we learned a lot about the whole process of trading before this actually happened, and confusing. So because pick 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, that didn't work at all. There needs to be a better way than just color coordinating and throwing everybody's name. I mean, you see it. You can barely read it. Even with it, people's names in there, and with it being color coordinated, it's still tough to follow.
It was really
So-
confusing doing it. Like if we had this, it would actually it'd be like, oh, okay, we actually know whose turn it is. So because like there was a lot of confusion in the chat of whose pick was it when. So just having this would solve that. But again,
Right.
I think it was worth the attempt, and I hope they do it again next season. And if I would suggest one change, it would be having this draft board, which they apparently plan on doing and then didn't. But I would say no mid-draft trades, because that's when you'd have to kind of pause the draft for it. Although there were plenty of pauses in this draft. It took 2.5 hours?
It took Silva half an hour to make his first pick.
Yeah.
Well, that's because
So we don't
that's
do it.
because they were doing that trade.
Trade, yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't we know about this draft a week ago? And we knew about
No.
trades a couple days ago, right?
No, well, I don't know when it was official, but I do know that on top of an 11th team being added fairly late.
Right. Which
Yeah.
I was against 100%. How do you guys feel about an 11th team?
I
we all
would have.
differ.
I mean, ideally, I would say we should have a 12th team.
You
Just to
wanted
make it
12?
even.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
5. We got
11,
5
11
fifth-round
is fucking
picks.
weird. I agree.
We got 5
It's
fifth-round
weird that
picks.
it happened. It's also weird that we had all this I don't want to say positioning for captains, and then Priest still gets the first overall pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if Priest is worse than Encott. I don't think he
I don't-
is. Or
I don't
Beam.
think Priest is worse than Beam or Encott.
Yeah.
So I would say put Encott first and then
And then
Priest
Beam
second,
second.
Beam third.
I think
or-
just flip Encott and Priest, and you'll be fine.
I think I'd put Beam after Priest, just because
Yeah.
Priest
Oh,
can go
Beam
back
after
and forth
Priest.
between running and tanking, and I kind of like some stability here and there, that beam is like, okay, he's gonna tank, and you know what to expect out of him.
Right. But I mean, that's also an advantage. You know, it's
It
an
can be an
advantage to
advantage.
be somebody like Silva, or somebody like Alpha, or Encott, or Priest, who can both take the bomb and or just tank, depending on what's on the board for them. Like, you know, that's a huge thing, because Silva could literally have taken BCK and then 2 more tanks and been just fine with tanking.
It's
Or he can
flexibility.
pick all tanks and be a runner. That's a bonus. Being a hybrid is a bonus, I think.
I mean, I agree that flexibility is nice, but at the same time, it sometimes takes away from both. Like if you're going back and forth
Sure.
between running and tanking, you're not going to be as good of a tank or runner if you just committed to one the entire season.
Sure, that could be true. It's just like what a few seasons ago, I was running all season, then we gave it to Snarf in playoffs, and that ended badly
Yeah,
because he hadn't run.
it's a
Yeah, I get
double-sided
it.
sword. There's
Yep.
a two-sided sword.
What were we gonna say,
Yeah.
Josh?
I'm saying, I mean, it really just depends on the team you're on, you know?
Yep. And what the board gives you.
Yeah, because
That being said, any surprise picks? I mean, we can kind of see it here.
Pi,
G-Bar.
J-Bar,
Pi-
that's a great one.
yeah,
Pi going in the second.
J-Bar in the first was probably the
That
biggest surprise.
that blew my mind. And then Corn Ninja right after. I had no
Yeah.
fucking idea what was going on.
I know for a fact, like last time we played MCC console, Mungo Pungo, RIP. I don't know where he's at,
Rip Mungo.
but he had a team in Halo 3. It was myself, Saints, Core Ninja, and Rebs, I think, and someone else. And that's where Saints and Core Ninja got really good chemistry. So
It was a solid
it's
team.
one of those like pocket picks where you're like, you know, I played with him back a while back. We were really good. Go
Sure.
for that one.
See, maybe I'm, just kind of old school on this, but like, did you guys look at any of the mock drafts before we got to
Yeah.
the actual draft?
Yeah,
I was kind of basing everything off of that.
Mock draft. I also
Like, and Corn went second or third every time.
yeah.
Late second.
I mean, runners should go second or third every time, no matter what. If you're a pure runner,
Right.
unless you're like heads and tails above everybody in tanking wise, as well.
Right.
like, do you think it would have made more sense for Saints to pick up like Fancy to
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
complement his play?
Would have made him. I would have
think-
I would have accepted a tone before Corn.
Yeah, I can honestly admit, like, you could have flipped it. A tone could have been first, and Corn could have been second. Still would have been fine.
Right.
Yeah, because
like, I would
something
have.
to consider with Saints is, I mean, there was a lot of talk of like BCK, even Door went in the first round in some of those mock drafts. So, I mean, I felt like Corn, Door, and BCK were like the top tier runners that you were gonna
Yeah.
go for, and they could have gone in any order. I would not have expected this one. I could have seen Corn go to Saints in the second round.
Again, it's one of those things where he's just getting what he believes is the best value. Maybe he doesn't think Corn's gonna get there in a second.
Yeah. I mean, I just figured there was better tanks available, and I don't think Silva can tank on his own. And maybe with the addition of a tone that'll help out. But then you go and pick up. Well, actually, no, he got Rebs in the third
You mean
because of the
Saints.
Killerz situation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a bit.
I don't think Saints can tank on his own. That's what I was saying, right? Or what did I say?
I mean, yeah, you said
basically
Silva, but yeah,
said
you
that,
meant
yeah.
Saints. And yeah, if
Same-
Fancy's nice to
Same
have.
difference.
It's nice
Yeah.
stability in that tanking line, just knowing Fancy can just stand there and not get
But
pushed back for the entire game.
I think to play with Fancy, you have to
Right.
be specific type of players, and I don't think Saints fits that mold. I think if you're gonna pick a tank, I think you take Diablo, and just be
Right.
pure aggressive. Fucking, we're gonna push forward and kill everything that moves, or wipe and restart.
Yeah,
that
I would
being
have been
said-
fine with Diablo pick there.
That being said, bless all the teams in this fucking draft that Digital wanted to run this season, because if he would have taken Nihilus and it was him, Fancy, and Martin running, or tanking, and
Tanking and
Nihilus running
Nihilus.
behind him, this season would be over.
Yeah, I
think
wasn't.
already.
I didn't know he was actually committed to that. I thought it was just a running joke. And then he had
thank
the
God.
back-to-back Martin and Miss picks. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's
I-
it then. He's straight up gonna run the
The
season.
issue is like how well can Martin adapt to come back.
I mean,
really
let's
good.
let's just take it at face value. If Martin was a very good Halo 4 player, going for a lot of credits, eventually, with some time, like Ace Spence has already come back and been pretty decent at Halo 3. He was also a good Halo 4 player. I'm guessing, especially players that have played Halo 3 in the past, are going to come back and be somewhat successful. Maybe not the Pi of old, the guy who everybody's still talking about as one of the greats, but at least successful. You know what I mean? Better than a
Yeah.
pup.
Fair
So
enough.
it's worth taking the risk, I would have to assume.
To
The
also-
experience always helps.
I
to
will
also go
say
back-
Pi was my biggest surprise pick in that second round.
I would go with that team, but not any of those guys. I think Zeg picking up Silent is also surprising, comparatively when you have like Star or Sab in that region too.
Or me.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
according to Zeg, I mean, he said it's somebody he's never played with before, but he had a high pick, so he figured why not.
No, it's a good player. It's just
Yeah.
a weird situation. Like Star is really good at this game. So is Sab. So Silent's good at this game
I'm
too.
gonna be honest. We don't make the ship in the Classic League without Ace. Right? Like there was a lot of times where Sab and Easy were dropping neg 30, and it was just me going positive, and it was Ace pulling plays out of his ass to get us in the game.
At the same time, this seems like the one game where I wouldn't pick Ace like fourth
Oh,
because I mean he's
yeah.
much more of a playmaker and defender in this as
Yeah.
opposed to like
Yes.
a
I think
dominant
Silent
tanking player.
at Demon or below is really good. Like anyone from Demon onward
Yeah,
is a really good
I think,
pick.
and that's what. When I brought him into the league, obviously AJ was still there, and we can talk about that whole fiasco. There was only 10 captains, right? So take Priest out, and I'm already pushed back to where Zeg is picking. right?
take
Yeah,
out
so I
Ank
would-
too, yeah.
I would go where Zeg is at, and then the next captain is Alpha, right? So worst he goes to is Alpha, and you still have AJ there, right? So because NCOT wasn't a captain yet,
Mhm.
you know, captains when he signed up were way different than they are currently, and we had talked about it, and realistically, we thought there was no chance he goes before Demon, right? And that's kind of why he signed up. So I feel really bad for Ace that, not that he's playing with Zeg. Zeg's a good dude. He'll enjoy the company, I guess, but that he doesn't get a good team because the dude does not have good luck with draft leagues.
No, because he went from he was
That's why
on
he's not signing up.
the last time he was in the draft, he was put on that team with the newer players that had pretty much no chance.
Mercury
of being,
Owl.
Yeah, there was pretty much no chance of being successful. And then he doesn't sign up the next one, and then that was the season he would have had a really good number 2. It would have been like with either me or
It would have been
Jiggly in
you
the second
or
round.
Jiggly.
Yeah, it would. He would have had a great team, and then he comes
Even if he-
back.
Right. Even if he goes after Didge, he would have had a lightsaber or, at least somebody decent to
Yeah.
play with, not just 2 rookies and a 4th.
And I don't want
Sonic,
to.
right?
I don't want to write this team off because like there's some built-in chemistry here. There's potential. I mean, a lot of people are going to be quick to put them at the bottom just because they felt like they were reaching on some of these picks, but I mean, I can see them sneaking out some early wins, but again,
It's
I'm still
Zeg
not
Ace-
I'm not putting them very high.
Zeg, Ace, Pi, Sket, right? That's the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Drez and Maddie as
I mean,
the 5 and 6.
Right. So let's, Sket's is sketchy for availability. So
is
let's say,
Pi.
right. So let's say, Drez actually gets some playing time pretty consistently that they don't play without 2 of their starters. I mean, everybody was saying Pi was decent. I haven't seen him play. I don't know. I don't know if anyone here has.
I played with him today.
And?
I wouldn't have taken him in the second round.
Out of a 10, what is he?
Oh, I'm gonna rate that, especially since he's barely got any games under his belt. I'm sure he can play better. He certainly felt like the fourth tank of a good fourth or a mediocre third, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's Pi,
So
so
he's got a
there's-
ways to go.
There's ways to go. There's plenty of room for
If-
improvement.
That team is all about how much
Please.
those 3 care.
Right. I
If
mean,
it's
Zeg
a-
was tanking really good in our scrims yesterday. He filled in for Ace Fence.
Yeah.
And it could have just been the fact that he was tanking with Demon and
Star,
Star. And that, being on a classic team always helps out when you got good players around you.
Zeg
Right.
was a monster in the customs we were playing today, in the scrims we played. He was easily the best tank.
Yep,
If
he was
it's-
tanking good.
If Greg
But
keeps doing that and doesn't stop playing customs, he's going to be a good tank, as he should be. The other one is which one of those two, of Pie and Sket, is also going to do that. That's what
Right.
killed them in the Classic League. Like, they were playing, and the league starts, and they dip.
Yep.
And-
Preseason Zeg is great. Regular season Zeg, when he stops practicing, loses
Well,
in
and
the
did
shit
he
back to
stop-
next seasons.
Did he stop practicing, or did J-Bark and
No, he
Sket?
stopped practicing before that.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah,
Another team had issues. I just didn't know
it was prior
to
to
what
that.
extent.
Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, like, if he does continue to play, he's a really good tank, and they're all, good players. It's just how much are they going to play, and how basically close to warm are they going to be at all times.
Right. Well, to be brutally honest, they got the most Halo 3 experience, I think, as a team, between Zeg, Pi, and Sket.
Yeah, and then throw Ace in there, who will find a way to fit on any team.
And he's played in leagues before, and
Yeah,
he's one of the greats.
Don't write this team off right away just because of some of the questionable picks. There's potential here.
See, their
But, I
potential is their rating right now is floor. Their potential is ceiling.
Yeah.
They cover everything from 11 to 1. It just depends on how much effort is given. So, any other weird teams like that where, the pick went a little earlier than expected? The star pick was instant for Demon. That's not a surprise. The Sab trade for Regressor and Alpha makes no sense to me. Why you pass on Sab to go get Goat?
I think the thinking was he wasn't going to get who he wanted. Like, it's me, Sab is basically the same as me, J-Bar.
Yeah, sure.
Alpha ended up moving up in what, the second? Or no?
First.
No, first.
Moved
and
back in
He
the
moved
first.
back in the
Moved up
first.
to
He moved up in the third. That's what
fourth.
he did.
Which is how he
moved
got-
up to fourth. Or that's right, third, yeah.
Well,
Third
which
pick,
is how he
player
would have gotten Rebs. So he would have had J-Bar, Rebs, D-Cleek, which would have been a fun team for him. You guys are all friends, right?
Mhm.
So that would have been good. But then the Killerz situation happened.
And then they took our Rebs.
Right.
And then we took RDG from Godless.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree though. I think the team you're better off sticking with going Sab in the first round instead of trading back.
You pick Sab if you want a style, but we were just a launchy team. Me and Turtle were launching a lot with Door and Beam, so I just add J-Bar and his lag and someone we trust in RDG, and bringing 2 new kids and see what they can do, and just continue the thing. Realistically, I don't think we really can win it, but if you catch us on a really good day, it's gonna be real hard to beat us.
You're gonna be annoying. That's for fucking
it's gonna
sure.
be a real fucking annoying game for everybody else.
Yep. A lot of swords I could predict. People just running at you all game. Goat always above your head. D-Cleek always above your head. Head on a swivel that game is probably gonna be the.
We'll sneak a few wins just because people won't pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I just think there was so much more potential, like with getting you in the second. If he had you, I would have even, and I think it was Ace and I who talked about this, taking Star before Demon.
Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking of. But I mean, at the end of the day, your captain picks whoever they want. If Digital wants to run, if Alpha Turtle wants to launch,
right?
I didn't sign up the captain, so
yep,
it is what it is.
Yeah, and you didn't decide the team, and so it's us trying to step into the brain of Alpha. And does he have more fun with you, Goat?
Probably.
I think so. And for some people, that's what it's about.
You can have fun in customs.
I would rank us out of all the teams around 6.
See, if I'm captaining or if I'm playing, I'm trying to win, and I want to win. So that's why I'm so upset that we snaked, because I know I'm going third or fourth pick.
And then
Right, the fact that only the admins voted on it, all the captains weren't asked. It was just Priest, Encott, and Silva that basically said, yeah, we're all cool with it, alright, let's snake. And then a couple of the other admins. That sucks. That sucks really bad for Zeg, that sucks really bad for Beam. Priest and Encott agreed to it, but I don't think they knew that they were going to be able to get players like Killerz, or Nihilus, or RDG, or any of that in the third round early. How different does Beam's team look with half-breed blue collar RDG compared to half-breed blue collar? Who does he have? I don't even remember.
It'll be Josh, Squeeps, or
Squeeps or Godwit, yeah.
Yeah. Or
Right,
Padre.
like that could be a much different team if RDG showed up. So it's just, I don't think they realized how bad it affects them and helps the tough teams, the ones that have the better captains, that already have that innate advantage because they're such better players. But that's the last I'm going to talk about it. People already call me a bitch for not wanting it. It's just we've never had it before because it favors the better captains way too much. Way too much. Like if Digital was really, really smart about this and took Killerz would play for Dig. He likes Dig. They get along. They've been teammates. Killerz likes Fancy. They've been along. Turquoise Jeep. They get along. His team would have been freaking unstoppable.
Digital
Right,
has a very curious team. I think Miss was a very surprising pick for me as the first pick of the third round.
And it proves that he wants to run. Like he was serious about that.
He full on committed to it because who else on this team is gonna run if he changes his mind?
No one.
Sonic. He's got to bring in Sonic and have him
the ball. They'll drop whoever the worst tank is, and they'll just bring Sonic, and that's it.
And honestly, I've seen Fancy run too. I have.
Fancy needs a tank on that team though. Either if he
tank.
Yeah, either way. Even if Ditch tanks, that's a good 1-2 tanking duo.
I'm just saying,
this could hold the ball behind the other three.
If he took Killerz, Nihilus, I mean, who else is there? Rebs is there. Rebs can hang onto the ball and is very good on defense. There's so many players he could have took that would have just broken this league, I think. Because I think Martin's already decent. Like, we played him last night in his first custom games, and he was as good as players on my team. Not all of them, but most of them. You know what I mean? So they've been around.
If Priest didn't get that second first round pick, does Digital go Cannon first round? Like, does that change the whole?
I don't think so. I still
draft
maybe, but like Cannon Fancy. The way I score this is a lot like a fight, and so like that's why I was saying. That's why I was so against the whole snake concept, right? So let's just do it at the ends because that's the way you have to rank it because we do have a worst captain and a best. You take Beam and you take Digital, right? So if we were going head to head, who's better, Beam or Digital, and by how much? How would you score the fight, right? So or that round specifically. I'm going to take Dig 10 out of 10 times and it's going to be a landslide. So I'm scoring that fight 48 for Beam, 58 for Dig. Big round win for Dig. Then you go into round round two.
I don't really follow that metaphor because I don't watch boxing or anything, but
that's UFC or boxing you have to watch in order to get this.
I get the scoring thing, but I don't know. That's just a little weird for me, but
right. But then I take like Martin in the second round as opposed to Diablo, right? Or no, the second round would be Fancy to who's the first round? Blue collar. Or half-breed to Fancy. Sorry, my screen went black for a second. So half-breed to Fancy. Half-breed wins that by quite a bit, but Fancy is still quite a bit better than Beam. So he wins the round by less of a margin. And then you go down to that second round and you got Diablo to Martin. They're a wash to me. Right? Like Martin has the potential to be just as good as Diablo with playing time. That round's a draw. And then you flip it again. So Digital's already winning the fight. Then you flip it again and you give Digital the first pick in the third round. Now, he fucked this up, right? Miss could be good. She was good at Halo 4, decent at Halo 5, good at Reach. She could be very good. So it's yet to be seen. But I think, God is just as good as Mist. So that's a tie as well. But still a slight advantage to Dig. You know what I mean? So there was no reason to swap that. And if Dig was good at picking and wanted to actually tank and win this season for sure, he could have just taken a runner and won this by a landslide.
Probably.
I think so, but it also depends on like how much you give up by drafting a runner, tank power wise.
Sure, but at the time he already has Martin, Fancy, and him. I don't think he gives up anything. In fact, he gets better at tanking because he's tanking. You know, it's just the same. It's the same concept as me running. Mentz has already told me that if we want a chance to win this season, I'm probably going to need to tank. He's probably right. You know,
Are you still trying to run?
I did against Didge, and we beat him on Didge's host. Didge went plus 60, but we still won. I scored all 5 goals. So, we'll see. You know, it's probably going to be one of the things where if I get it, I'll run. If NCOT gets it, he'll run. And if it's in playoffs, I'll probably tank the whole time. But, you know,
All right.
it's a draft game.
Let's make a quick transition before we move into doing the actual power rankings. Let's address the Killerz situation. I'm going full conspiracy, and I'm pretty convinced that Saints knew exactly what he was doing, picking Killerz, expecting him to not play, and getting him banned. I don't think Saints is any bit surprised by this. I think no one was surprised to hear that he didn't want to play. I think the admins handled it just fine, given the just banning him and re-rolling the picks, because it's not.
Take away my rebs.
Yeah, take away your rebs. I mean, you should be expected to play on any team that drafts you. That's part of the sign-ups in the draft thing.
The only thing I would say, I don't like that you ban someone. I don't know if it's for a season, but it's whatever.
I think it's for this season and next.
Then that's fine. Oh, whatever.
If it's for next season, he's not coming back, and that's stupid. Like, why would it be for 2 seasons? He's already paying the price.
Well, because I mean, you quit on this team. You're not really getting punished. You're just not playing because you didn't want to play with that team.
That's absolutely a punishment. Not playing the whole season when he wants to play.
Well, he could have played though.
We let a tone come back.
I mean, again, that's not confirmed. I don't know what the actual thing is, but
right.
We had this happen before
when he has been racist and sexist and harassed people. But we're gonna let somebody like Saints, who knows damn well that he doesn't get along with Killerz. That is not secret info. And whether or not he thought a tone was going to close that gap for him, I mean, you just got to know better. Like, as a captain, you don't see me reaching out for somebody I don't like or somebody that doesn't get along with me. I would never draft Saints, ever. Even if he was the best player on the board, I'm trying to trade back, right? Like, I'm not drafting him because we don't get along. And if I do draft him, I'm sure as shit asking him first if he's okay with it. Because you don't want that type of situation. And even if it did happen, right? Like, let's say it happens to Saints, Saints, Killerz doesn't want to play for Saints. He told him right away. As soon as he drafted him, he's like, dude, I don't want to play for you. DM'd him. I was right behind him when it happened. Right? So that should have stopped the clock right there and just been like, all right, you don't pick Killerz. Killerz is still on the board. That sucks. And maybe you ban Killerz for half the season. And only let him play half the games, right? But it's not that serious as to ban a guy for the whole goddamn season, or even 2, when you know damn well that he doesn't want to play for you. Like, that's just Saints not giving a shit. Is really the way I see it. And he says he wants to win every game. Fine, but you proved me wrong, or you proved yourself wrong when you took Korn first when he wasn't the best player on the board. So.
I would say though, Killerz was the best available choice at that time in the draft.
Yep.
Too.
Fair.
Yes, he was.
The board is slightly different.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody has preferences on who they want to play with. But if his board is different because of the fact that he likes Korn, his board should be different because of the fact that Killerz doesn't like him. It's the same logic.
The only issue I would also say with that is, I think Killerz, I don't know how his DM went to Saints, but I think Killerz played it wrong at that point.
So did Saints. Saints came in attacking me. He, was like, sorry, you don't get to play with that douche, and he said other shit that I won't bring up because I don't give a fuck. But he attacked his best friend. Like, what do you do? So it's a double-sided coin. The admins. And this is my best friend we're talking about, so of course I'm going to get defensive, right? Like, if this was J-Bar, no, I would not come to his rescue. But he's not my best friend. Half-breed might.
You're his best friend, though.
Yo, absolutely.
I don't actually think that would work out for J-Bar.
Right.
Their dynamic is much different than your dynamic.
Right. Sure. But like, the thing is you just it's too harsh of a punishment for admins who have been preaching for the last week and a half that they want everybody to be involved and not left out. Everybody to get a chance to play. This was as simple as, all right, rewind the draft to Saints' pick. Killerz is still on the board. He didn't want to play for Saints, so yes, he should be punished. Absolutely.
And
How long's the season? 20 games?
I mean,
10 games he can't play.
I think it should be if in that situation, I think you got to do him for more than half, because at
Okay.
that point you push him down. Let's say
He can't play for the regular
Yeah,
season.
because like if this is a different situation, like if this is a first round situation, and then you got like a big drop off from like your clear players, like Galv and Jinji and Halfree were the pretty clear 1 to 3, and then someone said, and Ace is like, I refuse to play for Zeg. I mean, that's a much bigger deal if it's in the first
Right.
round. So I don't want to go make different rules for different players. It should be a simple, you got to follow these rules. We're not going to accommodate you. And if you're not going to follow these rules, then you can just not play. And I understand that kind of thinking.
Right. And you got to go ahead, Josh.
It goes back to the bid league with that rule too, though. You know, I mean, don't bid on somebody you obviously don't get along with.
Well, in the bid league,
but
the
you did
admins
get
were
banned.
smart enough. Well, no, in the bid league, the admins were smart enough to let players leave their own messages, and the messages that we typed all got broken down by Silva into our availabilities, and nothing that we actually typed beyond that. Killerz typed who he would be okay with playing with.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
did do that.
He literally said that. Yeah, we used to do that in the bid league. On top of that, you got to look at this from Killer's point of view. He's been watching a week worth of mock drafts. He didn't sign up right away because he didn't know who was captaining and who was going to be on the board and where he was going to fall. He did his research. He took his time. He didn't just sign up the first day. He waited till 3 days out because he not once went to Saints in a mock draft. Not once went to Silva in a mock draft. The two people he didn't want to play with, he didn't go to. Right? So how is he to know that Saints is out of nowhere going to snipe him? And yes, yeah, okay, you got to be, by checking this little fucking box, you got to be comfortable playing with everybody for 2 months. But that's not the way the world works. I'm sorry, it's just not. You know, and if that player, like Killerz did put in his writing when he signed up, like, hey, don't want to play with these fucking people. What are we doing here? Like,
one thing then. Is there gonna be any regular season trading or?
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, he could have,
Because
they could
I
have
was
very
gonna say,
well
if
have
he
just
held out and just requested a trade.
Well, and that's what I
Like
told him,
captain.
and that's what I told him as soon as they came out with the season ban. I'm like, fuck all that, dude. Tell Saints you'll play for him, and then just throw every game. Just show up and just suck ass.
Yeah, I think
worst-
this situation would have been different if he waited until the end of the draft and like gave it a
Sure.
shot. I mean,
I'm just saying this is the fastest decision the admins have ever made, and it contradicts shit that they've said.
I think
So,
his unreasonableness to even give the team a chance is probably what kind of sealed his fate on it. Again, if he goes out and he plays a couple games and is like, dude, this isn't working out, it's not going to happen, whatever, I'm sure they're going to be more lenient. They'll throw out trade
Sure.
suggestions, but
absolutely.
his straight up just saying, no, I'm not doing this, period. I don't care what happens.
Yeah, as I
Just
stated
do
before, I
whatever you
think
want.
he hurt himself a little more. If
Oh
he would've-
yeah, he jumped the gun, but
yeah. I mean, it's Killerz.
I still think-
that's what's
I-
gonna happen. Yeah.
right. I still think the admins overshot.
No, that's fine too. My thing is like he should have messaged Saints like we both know we don't like each other. That's cool. I'll
Well,
give this
Saints-
a shot.
Saints didn't tell him he was gonna pick him. Like it
No,
caught
I
him
know.
off guard.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
but
like he was not expecting it. And Killerz, I don't want to get into it. Killerz
Yeah,
is
no.
mentally, you know,
Yeah,
he's
I've been around Killerz long enough. I know
right.
how he rolls. Yeah,
He can be a dick, right?
yeah.
No,
Like,
he's
how
so
he
nice.
is.
He's like a giant teddy bear.
right. Right.
No, I
You
just
know.
think he should just been like, I'll give this a shot. If it doesn't work, if there's some trades available for me, I would like that. Get you a player who who can.
But that
go
wasn't
out
even
there.
honestly, just knowing Saints too. Saints would have. The person Saints is probably would have just smited him, sat him on the bench, and been like,
Yeah,
nah.
but I think if you go that way,
you give yourself a better shot to go to the admin.
Yeah,
Sure, I
because
get it.
you can manipulate it to your advantage at that point.
Yes, this is not by any means just the admin's fault. This is not just Saints' fault.
No, it's just like
Killer's
it's just
fault too.
everyone fucked up. Like it's
But
unfortunate.
don't just put all the blame on him. Don't just punish him. I mean,
No.
you didn't, because obviously you lost out on Rebs. Alpha did, and Regressor lost out on RDG.
We spoke so much on that draft pick between RDG and Rebs, and we're like, well, we really like both, but who'd be comfortable with? We waited for picks, and we're like, dope. And then like we end the pick, and we're like, are they rewinding one back? What do you mean? Rewinding
No
one
one
back?
wanted Jaga though. It worked out for us. F you guys.
Yeah. And then they Ken almost retook Connor away from me
Yeah.
because he drafted Dragon Guy. And then he's like, no, Connor, and we're like, we just put his name out there, you son of a bitch.
Right.
All right. Let's move on to the power rankings because we're kind of dragging this on again.
Absolutely.
This
Let's
is
keep
not
going.
going to go 2.5 hours like the first one did. We're going to try and cut it off at like 90 minutes.
This is where the important stuff happens. So
This is what you
you've
guys
made
want.
it this far.
You guys
yeah,
want
if you've
your
made it this
stupid
far, good
power
for you.
rankings.
But we did have to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Well, elephants. Your draft styles.
I've
So,
lost
yeah,
weight. Don't you call me an elephant, goddamn you.
That's
Not
rude.
enough.
Okay, we had to address the red panda in the call.
What are you trying to do here? You want to
All
get
right.
that?
So ranking, where are we at? Are
Uh,
we scrolling down? Finalized teams. There we are.
Yeah,
all
here are
right.
our teams. So now we get to rank
Oh.
them.
I think, like, to be fair, it's really hard to pick. In my opinion, it's really hard to put one above the other. Like, there's some good players, but there's like big drop-offs. Like,
Yeah.
certain spots. Like, I think in my opinion, maybe the best team might be Demon's team, because it's probably the most like traditional.
His is the
Yeah.
best round or the most well-rounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
There's
your
three tanks,
1,
one
2,
runner.
3 tanking line. Yeah,
Yeah.
and your runner.
It's
I
Honestly,
agree.
the three
Very
best
good, very good
teams-
team here. And
The three best
Seb,
teams are right in the middle. The regressor to demon. Honestly,
I was gonna say regress. I'm gonna thinking putting regressors team number 1 just cause I'm getting some real like Jiggly / Haveria vibes out of Icy Tanker if him and Cornchip both show up and play consistently. Like I feel like this
Yeah.
team has the highest potential.
we said this a couple seasons in Reach. We said this a couple seasons ago in Reach. If Life sticks around, this team is fantastic. If he doesn't, they're terrible.
Yeah,
Right.
this team's gonna come down to
Same
Icy
thing
Tanker.
with Tanker and Cornchip. If they stick around, they're gonna be pretty good. They might not win it all, but they're gonna be very competitive. And I could see the same for Zim Rage Doer with Jaga as their fourth. I could see the same for Demon's team. We played them last night. They 5-1'd us twice.
Well, that's because your
and-
team sucks. It has you on it.
Damn.
I mean, we beat Digis team. Like
Yeah, Digital's running. I mean,
it was
It's-
on its host.
honestly,
I think
don't care.
honestly,
Honestly,
Digital's
there's
team needs the most play time because
yeah.
they're a lot more passive, and passive players need a lot more gelling
Yeah.
time.
I'll be honest. I'm looking at Digital's team, and I see it as maybe having the lowest ceiling. I'm just
Fair.
not buying into the Digital running thing.
I just think if you get 4 quality tanks, it's gonna be annoying to go against them on defense.
Right. And I mean, worst comes to worst, you trade out a player like Mist, and you try to go get a Drez.
This
Or
looks
you try to
like
go
these look like some long ass games.
get. Yeah.
Oh
He's
yeah.
gonna lead the league in carrier kills again. God damn it! I'm out here trying to
my
get
God. Yeah,
Customs
he is.
tonight we're averaging like 20 minutes.
yeah.
All right, let's try
So
to
I-
put something on the board. Do we want to like just put Demon and Aggressor's team towards the top for now? Because are these like our
Demon
top
number 1.
2 clear teams?
I think those two are probably the best.
I would say
And
demon
it-
first and then regressor.
I'd agree. I want to, again. I said Regressor has the highest ceiling, but I feel like Demon's team is. I
think if
look
we
at that
played-
team and I
if
am
we played
expecting
all
it
now,
to
right
compete.
now, if we played all right now, I think Demon's team would win more games than everybody.
Demon's team is number 1 for sure. Like we played them last night. Ace Spence is ace light, right? Like really light. He's
Or-
not as good of
or
a tank.
My personal favorite from Zim, Budget Galv.
Yep. Yeah.
Budget gal.
Budget Gal.
Yeah, Budget Gallon.
And then
It's
Nihilus.
a
Nihilus
damn nice
was
looking
literally
team.
Nihilus was playing like active hate second round pick last night. So using the sword effectively, running effectively.
It also
think he was
helps
on
that he has
host.
3 tanks.
Yeah, I think he was on host too, but doesn't matter. Like if he's got that kind of play on host, it'll mostly transfer over off of it.
Just a little more work, but yeah.
Can I call Nihilus a budget regressor? Given the
100% done. Done.
We'll take it.
He's already been stated. Gallus,
Number-
baby Gallus.
Number 2, are we agreeing that it's regressor?
I think so.
I really like the potential of this team.
Just based off of potential.
Yeah,
I think it's
very high ceiling. I mean,
I
honestly,
think it's another
if this
well-rounded
team
team.
shows up and plays all their games, I don't see them being anything lower than top 2, top 3.
yeah.
To me, Regressor's team is not only say identical but very similar to Demons. I don't think they have the better tanking power, but I think Regressor's a much better tank than Nihilus, and that could
Yes.
prove a difference.
Oh yeah, like there were like I say this all the time. There were times last season where that team looked better with Regressor tanking with Star running.
Yeah, because I can also see Star or Demon holding the ball and not Nihilus, because they have a certain possession or something like that.
Can Nihilus tank?
Oh, he's okay. He's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hybrid in the sense that he's not any worse than your typical fourth.
Okay.
But I'll still put Regressor
Defense.
much above him tanking wise.
Yeah, he's the guy that on defense pulls out a sword though. Change of pace. He does it a lot.
I'm
No.
not a fan of that, but yeah.
Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't.
All right, where are we going from here?
Now,
Your team. You're the most
like
solid
those
4.
gyms. It's another stack like that. You're the next closest 3 tanks, 1 runner.
Yep.
Sweeps, any comment before I put my team here?
No, I would have to agree.
Damn right you didn't.
I just want to let you know. Now here's you get a little issue.
See, this was kind of the nice thing about these mediocre captains being in the middle. They got that first good player, and they still didn't lose out on anything with that swap, right? So they got their good thirds and fourths. So plus there's a big jump in my mind from Demon to Alpha Turtle in skill.
These teams are really balanced, in my opinion. Like, it's. Really
I think it's those 3 teams not close, and then we take the next skill jump. So like those are we'll just call it S tier teams, right? Teams that are going to be the best.
I think those if we played games now, like if everyone had to play their games right now, I think those 3 teams probably win majority of the games. But over the course of the season, I think players get comfortable with each other, and
then hopefully some zombies and some pups show up, and yep, absolutely. So
some of the next, some of the next teams I'm looking at, Gingy, if you tank, I like the look of your team.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I'm looking at this team.
It all depends on our fourth.
I'm looking at Silva's team or Saint's team.
All I request is wear 6.
I'm not totally sold on Tommy. Like, in the customs, I've played with him anyway. I mean, I think he can be solid, but I think he has
hit or miss
days too.
Yep, and I'm gonna work with him and try my best. I'm gonna work with Dragon Guy. He was just playing some customs, looked decent.
If I'm NCOT, I probably start Armin at the beginning of the season.
Oh God, no. No.
Really? I like Armin.
He's just a sword. Like, he doesn't use his hammer. I mean, he's a runner, which we have NCOT for. If we put in anybody, we're putting in somebody with better tanking ability than Tommy.
It was a curious pick to pick Armin here with you and NCOT already on the team.
Yeah.
I guess
he
it's kind of a throw.
If they both want to tank.
Oh, I guess it was kind of a throwaway pick because you only had 2 choices there.
Yeah. I forget who was against. It was either him or.
Yeah. Again
Mercado?
though, if you tank, you and men's with very different with men's passive, you aggressive. I like that tanking line, and it opens up a lot of opportunity if you have NCOT running.
Well, as of right now, I could tell you honestly that last night we had the same issue with Tommy that we had with Easy in the Classic League, in that the fact that we would always see him pushing to the opposite side of the field by himself.
Oh yeah.
And it's just kind of like, what the fuck you doing over there, man? Help us. Because if we die, we get trapped in a corner. If we push to the plate, you spawn them on our side. Like there's really no positives to it if you don't actually push all the way through the plate and come to us.
It's also a very rough game to get caught behind the play and try to get back because all the hammers are swinging and you're just getting launched further back.
Well,
It
that
took me
happened-
like 30 seconds to go from one goal to the other because I'm just getting hammered back over and over again.
Back to the wall.
Yeah.
Like you gotta restart.
It's like this is
Yeah,
the
it's
longest
like-
straight line of my life.
It's like I might as well have just spawned over here again. Like good. Go back to running. Yeah, easy. So many times got caught out behind the play. It got to the point where in playoffs we had to literally stop him and be like, "Hey man, one, if you get caught out behind, pull your fucking sword out so you can actually launch somebody from a distance if you need to. Two, stop going to the opposite side of the field when we're tanking. Like, all you're doing is spawning them on our side, and even if we do get the perfect setup, you get a couple kills on a spawn trap. Whoop-de-doo. If we're already at the plate, we're pushing through anyways. If you're on our middle or on the wall. We scored all of our goals with him on the wall and me and Ace in the middle. So, I mean, it's just... Once we teach Tommy the basics of this game and how to tank with us, he'll be a lot better. Because he was very successful on the plate of getting double kills and doing the things you want to see. Plus, Dragon Guy's been solid at every game he's played. Plus, he's 17 now, not 12. Just learn that. So,
Oh, yeah, no, it's kind of weird when you get in a party and you hear his voice. Believe me.
all right.
The Dragon guy?
Yeah.
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 He's a
Bucks
young
now.
man, all grown up.
So if I'm gonna start putting the next two teams, sorry, Gingy, I'm not putting you guys there if you're running.
I wouldn't.
It's a
wouldn't.
big
Can I
question
tell you
mark.
my four?
Yeah, because I'm looking at Saints or Silva.
And we
I-
haven't... I'm not necessarily running either. It's going to
Okay.
be by committee.
Squeep, what's your pick?
So I highlighted it while you guys were talking. If you can see the blue box there, I picked
I'm
Silva's
colorblind.
team. Okay,
Silva's
well,
team?
I'm going Silva's team number 4. I mean, they are old, grizzled, legendary Halo 3 players, and I don't know. I think you got Rockies running the ball and Silva not having to, only having to tank with, Diablo. I think that's a great tanking duo. And Tad, if, he gets the rust off, I'm sure he's going to be great too.
If Tad comes
Not-
back to form, that is a really nice trio as a tanking line.
Sure. I'm not saying Silva's a bad tank, but he did go negative 100 this classic season.
To be fair,
Um,
he also ran the majority of the time. So he
again,
couldn't
like I
generate
said,
offensive kills.
Going back to the first point about Priest running and tanking, if Silva commits to tanking this entire season, he's not going negative again. He'll put up some
Right.
fat. He'll put
Playing
up some fat
Silva
numbers
is
again.
definitely tanking.
Think so?
I think Rockies is going to be their runner for sure.
Yeah.
See, I still don't see them being better than like digital.
Again, I'm not a big believer in runner digital.
I don't think it lasts. I don't.
No,
I think digital.
I think
think
it lasts for much longer than you expect.
Well, I mean,
I
if
think
it,
it's going to take 3 losses for Digital's team to put him back at tanking.
depends on
it
how many games
depends.
are in the season. If we're looking at a 10-game season, then it's got to be a lot quicker than that. And if we're
2
looking at like a
losses.
20-game
It
season,
also
then
depends
yeah,
on your
that's
teammates
fine.
too, saying shit.
But then
Right,
you're
and
but
maybe-
then you're gonna have to
Turns around,
trade.
like, you can't do that. Don't run it. We need you to tank.
Yeah,
I
and I think you guys underestimate Digi's brain, or maybe I overestimate it. He's gonna be that logical dude that's gonna be like, "Hey, we could actually win some of these games if I'm not running." And
I
even then,
Yeah, but that's this is the problem.
He
Though.
might-
He didn't
Smart
draft
dude.
a backup runner unless Sonic's a runner. He didn't. He's
mean,
gonna
he
have
could-
to make a trade.
I mean,
he could
Sonic's a
easily
runner.
trade. He could easily trade Mist for a third
Or
rounder.
you just let Mist run and just play
Yeah,
really, really conservative as a runner.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I
pussy
think
that.
you're just
behind.
throwing a non-runner into a runner position, or you're like you mentioned Fancy, but that's taking Fancy off the line. It's a lot of
Listen, Mist-
it's a lot
Mist
of
gets
question marks.
nervous. Mist gets nervous running the ball, but she did it in Halo 4 kind of effectively, from time to time with Ace.
Or
And I.
give it to Martin.
Yeah, Martin's a vet. He won't give
And-
a fuck.
And Martin will punch things. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll learn. He'll learn.
There's just a lot of questions to me on this
I
team.
mean,
I'm
I
not
wouldn't-
confident putting them
I
high
would-
up.
Because of the questions, I wouldn't put Digital much higher than like.
I feel the same with
Top
Silva
4.
though. Like, how good is
That's-
Rockies? How good does Tad come along?
I mean, you're gonna get the best Rockies is ever gonna play is with a team of
Silva.
like Silva. Yeah,
Diablo. And then
Sure.
Tad is probably. I mean, playing with people who know how to play the game also helps.
It's kind of like back in the few Halo 3 seasons ago. You put Sket on a team next to Silva, and I forgot what had on the team, but they fit like a glove. So they put
But
the team
is that
synergy
better
was a
than
lot
a
better.
Priest, Galvin, Cannon, Noplex with Sam and Salty as backups?
Yeah,
Think so?
yeah.
I think Galvin's better than everybody on that team by a mile. I think Cannon's just as good as Diablo. Priest, compared to Tad, maybe that's a loss for Priest.
I
And
think
Noplex
the
to
issue is,
Rockies.
does Priest play though?
Even if he doesn't, Sam plays.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Doplex and the Sam are, I don't want to say pretty big, but they're pretty big drop offs comparatively to like if you take Galvin, Silva, and Cannon, Diablo, top two for top two, right? It's probably more in favor of Galvin's team because Galvin's probably better than both of
Right.
those guys.
And
But I think
I have bias in my head. Playing Galvin in playoffs, man, he's a game swinger, you know. And so is
yeah,
Digital, so is, Silva can be as
yeah.
a runner. But so is AJ,
I
so
just
is
think
Saints,
Tad and Rockies are like slightly
And see, I've only played two
better.
customs with Tad, and neither of them were. He was all over the place. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
It's not.
and so
I mean,
I just
I'm
don't think
going
he's there
into
yet.
it. I put him like in a similar boat as Ace Spence, but having played customs with Ace Spence, he's really performed well, really quick.
but Ace Spence also wanted to come back and play. That's what helped.
Yeah.
So I think the same thing. If
Well, and Tad's
if,
getting in customs. He's
yeah,
playing.
if Tad
I
and
haven't
Rockies
seen him
want to
yet.
come back and play,
Rockies
that's
was
really big.
Rockies was actually on my team last season. He only made it to 2 games, but the games he played, we won.
Who'd you play?
I think that was when we played Aware Mosquitoes team. I mean, it
So
wasn't a strong team that we
Tommy
beat,
and
but
Sam and
yeah. It wasn't a
You-
strong team, but those were the only 2 wins we had that season.
sure. So he could be better than your typical fourth, is what you're saying, because those are a lot of like
Yeah.
Aware, Sam, Tommy. Those are a lot
Those
of your
are
fourths in this league.
Yeah.
If Rockies gets a decent schedule this season, then yeah, that is an absolute game changer for Silva's team.
Do we want to work bottom to up? Like, do we have a clear bottom 2 teams?
Bottom teams.
Yeah, because I mean, again,
Zeg.
I think it's
I would
and
say
Alpha.
Zeg. Whoa. I demand 6. I demand right in the middle, right mediocre.
I don't think I'm putting you 60th league.
That's rude.
I'll give you 9.
Fair enough.
Like,
We'll take it.
I think I had you at 9 or 10.
I think I mean, in my head, I have them at 10, and I'm honestly putting Digital's team at 9.
I want them to prove me
Yeah.
wrong, though. I like the J Bar pick first. I think
mean,
that was really
It's
interesting.
like kill the
I
carrier.
like-
We're gonna go to playoffs like we always do. We're gonna scare some teams and we're gonna lose. And that's basically what we do now. Or that's my career at this
you
point.
guys, honestly,
Uh.
you need to play Connor, because like he generates a lot of kills for your team.
Well, we wanted Rebs because Rebs played more. We just picked RDG because we know him. He knows us.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
easier. And then we got Connor later to give him playtime. Now,
Yeah.
if Connor plays better than RDG or any of us, then there you go.
I
He
wouldn't be
plays.
surprised if Connor is starting over RDG early in the season just because RDG doesn't get on and put the
Yeah,
time
that's
in.
fair.
Play.
Like we've talked about it. Like we have no.
Yeah. Hopefully
concern.
hopefully you can convince him to come back and play more and be better. I
Eh,
know he had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which could be, whatever. And I think Connor's a serviceable fourth in this league. I think he gets.
He absolutely is.
think-
He's quietly improving every time I play
I think-
customs.
I think Connor, out of all the pups, Connor might have like the easiest chance to succeed because we're very, I don't want to say chill, but like we're probably not going to care too much.
Right.
Connor can learn and do well. I
I'm
had
gonna
a
say-
good time. playing with
I'm
him
gonna
last
go out
season.
and say Connor plays more games this season than RDG.
Probably.
I would assume so.
I would place money on it.
Damn.
But hey, I think Connor's playstyle just adapts well to anything. Like, if you have a tank that goes, I would much rather have a tank go forward and die, but at times generate
Get
multi
double or
kills.
triple, yeah.
This is a
Then-
weird ass team in general, but by the way, I mean, your lead tank's J-Bar.
Who says we have a lead tank? We're gonna launch all the
Yeah.
goddamn
Alpha
time.
Turtle
They're
is
gonna
committed
play
to
off
the.
their spawn. They're gonna get you all spawn trapping, and the runner's gonna be 2 miles in the air and gone.
Yeah.
Alpha already committed to tank this season, didn't he?
He
Honestly,
committed to tank
Alpha's
last season and we had Door. He doesn't. He'll do whatever. Like
Alpha's a
we'll
fine
pick up
tank,
the
honestly.
ball.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. I just think
Yeah, I like him as a tank.
I see D-Click hanging onto the ball a lot, or J-Bar.
that'd probably be me. Cause
Who are we
Jay
putting
probably
last?
watching me.
Uh,
I mean, if you have me down, okay. Since you guys have my team down that low.
I don't want to
Comparatively-
put your team last.
I don't give a fuck. It's fine.
I don't want to put Zeg's team last though. I just see them
Comparatively,
sneaking out
are
wins at the
we
beginning.
better than Zeg's? Or are we
putting
worse than
Ace
Zeg?
last is bold.
I don't want to put Zeg's team last.
Then don't put us. We'll be fine. We're all adults.
Am I
Somewhat.
alone here? I want to put Digit's team last.
I just don't know. I mean, they're tanking power.
I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah.
It's around 7 because they're a real wild card right now.
If Dig tanks, it changes everything. But if
I just think their defensive tanking power is going to be annoying, and it's going to be one of those 45-minute games where you're going to be like, someone's going to say, fuck this, go do something stupid and give the ball up to them, and they're going to score easy points that way.
Miss is gonna be trying on the plate.
It's fine.
I mean, we can put my team last because as of right now, 2 of our starters are Encott and Tommy.
I'm not putting. Okay, I can't do this though. I can't put Digital's team low because I'm expecting Digital to run, and then put your team higher because I expect you to end up tanking. I had to commit to both of you guys running.
I mean,
Let's do these rankings as
But
Gingy and
I'm
Digital
not-
as runners.
I'm not gonna be running. I can just tell you that now.
Okay, then
Like,
I can't.
It's
Then I'm
not
not
gonna
putting
Digitally
team
is
last.
going to be running.
I'm not putting
It's
a
not
team
gonna
with
happen.
Gingy and Men's as the tanking duo.
Dragon guy, your runner.
That's-
No, and Cott's gonna have to run.
yeah, Dragon Guy is honestly a decent tank. Honestly, I see potential in Tommy.
Just
Like the
put
kid-
us last.
The kid
Fuck.
learns.
How about this team? How about Beam's team? We haven't even mentioned Beam's team yet.
I think Beam's team isn't too bad, honestly. I don't think they're like worse than any of the teams we just mentioned.
I think they have
Like,
a. I
half
think
breed
they have a fourth problem because Squeeps
I
is
think
garbage.
you compare Half-Breed and BCK to me and Men's. And like,
Wait, no,
Except
because
I
it's
think
two
BCK is
tanks
the
versus a
best
tank and a
runner
runner.
right now in the league, and
well, I mean, I'm just talking like a 1-2.
yeah, I get it, but I'm just saying like they also have chemistry. Like it's BCK and Half-Breed, they're like boys, and then Beam also enjoys them. I think as a trio, they're not bad. They're like pretty much average, a little better than average for the grouping. I think the issue becomes their fourth, whether it's God, Josh, or Grunt, and
This is
they
fucking tough.
each
So here,
bring something different.
I'm gonna go ahead and just give out a reasoning. I don't want to put Half-Breed, Gingy, or Ace last. Oops,
Oh, but you deleted them.
they're fine.
Put me
Don't worry about it.
last.
We're putting Alpha's
Coward.
team last.
I
Hey.
actually ranked us at 6.
Fuck you.
You did what?
I actually ranked it at 6 when I did the poll earlier.
Alpha's team or your team?
You're not at
Team's
6.
team.
No,
Wait,
there's just too much. There's too much unknown. I think Beam is your 4th, or needs to be your 4th, and I don't think
I
don't
think
think-
BCK is a lot better than.
BCK is great. I think Digital should
BCK
have
is
took him
really-
100%.
BZK is really good. Every time I've played him, he's always been really
Yep.
good.
Yep. But trust me, 750 years of bid league experience or draft league experience, you're only as good as your 4th. If you have a 4th that is going to drag you down or be way weaker linked than everybody else compared to their team, gonna be hard to win.
I
Never.
agree. Squeeps. I see Squeeps as their 4th. I haven't seen IB play, but so I would have
Beam,
Squeeps as the
so
4th.
Squeeps needs to be better than Beam. Like in order for your team to
Um,
succeed, Josh, you have to be better than Beam.
I'm thinking.
that's period.
I'm thinking pretty high of Beam. I'm gonna say good luck, Squeeps.
The issue is whoever plays around Half-Breed better needs to continue to play around Half-Breed better. That's it.
To be fair, this will be my first time playing with Beam and BCK. I think I was on a team with Half-Breed a few years ago.
Well, by
it's going to be a learning curve, and there's no pressure on you. Like, obviously, you got all the pressure on Half-Breed and BCK to perform. You just got to go
Honestly,
out there and not fuck up.
we were playing customs against. Well, it wasn't a specific team. It was a mix of two teams.
It
but
was Digital Fancy, myself, and Conroe.
yeah, and I felt
Something
like
so.
my play style kind of fit with BCK and Beam.
Yeah.
mean,
Godwit 1 Ivy did really well too.
Honestly,
he
if you just use the Thundercat playstyle where you go to the same side and you tank with your team, that's all you need to do.
Oh,
right? Like,
absolutely. I love support tanking.
help be the support, help each other team tank. When you're last alive, stay alive. You know, do the smart plays, and you'll be fine. Just don't try to do too much. Too many times you get the younger guys trying to be a hero instead of just holding court position, or just whatever. Be
And
the
just-
veteran that you are and make smart plays.
And to revisit Priest team, real quick. Sorry, Squeebs.
You're good.
I see this team as having, with Priest and Noplex, kind of having 2/4.
Yeah.
And Galvin Cannon with
And
Cannon is a
what
weird.
happens if Priest doesn't play? It's still
Yeah,
like,
because Priest
I think it's a
has
downgrade.
mentioned that he's probably not going to
Yeah.
play every single game. So I
no
mean,
offense to Sam or Salty Peter Bread, they're like not downgrades, but probably comparatively.
Which then I think they need a runner, and they don't have it. Unless Sam runs.
like,
I mean, Galvin can run.
Galvin has to tank on that team though.
Galvin,
Yeah,
yeah. If Galvin
yeah.
doesn't tank, they get third the 11 team.
Noplex can run if you want to bring in a tank like Salty, or Sam can run if you want to keep Noplex tanking wise.
I'm just saying, it could have been Galvin BCK. That'd have been nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Best runner, best tank.
Yeah, because I'm kind of leaning
So-
towards Priest team at 10 now. Now that I'm thinking
Priest
about
team is a
Priest
real wild
playing
card
half
to
the
I think-
game.
I think
Question.
Priest team is 10, but
We
that's
all
with
we all
potential.
forgot about Saints team.
I like Saints team.
Saints is a pretty solid team.
I like
mean,
his team.
I'm
You
not-
got
I'm
your
not
lead
huge
tank.
on
You got one of the better runners, and then you have a Tone and Rebs who are both quality players. Like in terms of, if you want to go back to Gingy's, you're only as good as your fourth. I think this team is perfectly fine with the Tone and Rebs as a couple thirds to me.
Third, fourth. I haven't played with Rebs in so long. I don't know how.
He's
The laggy sword.
he's like a really budget ace. He's gonna go around with the sword. He's gonna
Well,
be
I've always
super
considered
laggy,
him a
very,
budget. I've
very
always considered him a
frustrating.
budget.
a
I've always
budget what?
considered him a budget decleak.
That's much better. Yeah, a budget defleak, sure.
And yeah, so not really a tank, gonna die a lot, which makes me concerned for their defense with just Atone and Saints holding the line.
what worries me about Atone is the betrayals.
Yeah. You're gonna push that guy into team tanks and he's gonna kill people. Especially his swords lunging. I've already seen it happen. He gets close, kinda like Fancy does a lot. Gets close, and if your sword lunges me, he's still swinging, killing, even if I don't get the kill, he's getting my trade.
Well, let me
So-
ask you this: who would you rather have as your third and fourth, Atone and Rebs, or Beam and Ivy or Squeeps? Because I'm not gonna
Ton
say
and Rebs.
because I mean, if you want to do that, I mean,
But
half free
it's
BCK, Saints, and Corn. I don't think there's a very large gap there.
Right. Right. And I think it's more or less that Atone and Rebs have experience.
Yeah, like I don't think there's any way I'm putting Saints team below Beams.
Yeah, no. I could agree.
I would settle for probably 7 or 8 on my team.
Did we put Zeg 11?
No,
Where do we put
No,
Zeg?
we never mentioned it. We never got back to it because we didn't want to
We-
put. We did want to put Ace last.
God, there's just so much potential in that team too. Cause like, what if Pi and Zeg pop or Pi and Sket pop off, right? Zeg's playing really well. Ace is gonna play really well. Let's say Pi plays well and Sket plays okay.
That's
This
gonna
team
be
is
a really good team.
Really good.
But
like
I think you have to go with what you've last seen of them. Like
Right.
potential is potential.
last scene
They
Zeg
played
tanking like a
us.
first round tank.
They
Yeah.
played
Right,
us just fine today.
If Zeg keeps tanking like he has the last 2 or 3 times I've played him, he's a better tank than Cannon, Diablo, Fancy. you know,
If the
he
same
would be a
team that
first round.
I played today shows up, if we get that level of Zeg, I'm not putting this team 10th. I would put them more like 6th, 7,
Yeah.
or 8.
Again, but
But
in the
what do we
situation are we
what do
gonna
we expect? Yeah, are we? I mean, if we get regular season Zeg, this
because
team
we're doing
collapses.
preseason rankings. We're not necessarily doing potential rankings.
Mid-season,
We're
yeah, we'll do another one. I think it's right now just because of their floor and where they could be, and with Sket and Pi not really playing, I think they're 10. That could change,
Yeah, these are just the way too early predictions.
but
So,
that's 10. And then I
Just-
think,
This is just based on names on the paper.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I think Beam's team is 9. Again, just based off their fourths needing to show up. Actually, did we place Priest team?
No, we haven't. I do you want to do Priest 10, Zeg 9?
I like Zeg at 9.
Could you put Galvin and Cannon at 10?
No, because
Yeah.
I think Galvin and Cannon is better than Ace Zeg right now.
But how do Galvin
Yeah, I
and
would say
Cannon's play styles go together?
Galvin and Cannon will work. Galvin is just like tanking with me, man. He's gonna tank with anybody, and he's gonna tank fine with anybody.
Well, let me just let me switch it up real quick. How close to Galvin do you think Digital is? Because I mean, if you switch them, you have Digital, Priest, and Cannon. You have a big fat chunk of way to fail right there, and you're thinking about this team very differently.
Yeah, but again, we're also saying that Priest is gonna play. We don't know if he's gonna
Yeah,
play.
but you're missing the best part of way to fail, which is Dig and you.
You're getting Galv though.
You're also missing fanciest for way to fail before he got snapped up.
Yeah.
Hey, I was on way to fail.
Oh, but to be honest, you're also missing.
And I don't know what to, and I don't know what to expect from Noplex. I don't know how much he's gonna. I mean, he's been in customs,
alright.
which is nice to see him in customs. He was tanking. We scrimmed this team too, but they didn't have Galv or Priest, so I really don't want to judge him on it. But
Cannon and Oplex and Sam and Salty.
yeah, Noplex was Noplex was a clear. Probably tanking
Best
better
of the
than
rest.
Sam and Salty in those games.
Yeah, so he's probably gonna be or the third, depending if Priest can play. I think you could put Zeg and then Priest, mainly because you know what you're getting from Galvin Cannon. While your question marks are Noplex, Pi and Sket did not have. Well, not necessarily Pi. Zeg and Sket previously did not have great classic seasons.
We'd put Zeg 10, Priest 9, and then I would go.
These are okay. We'll put this here, and we'll just make a note. These are pretty
It's
much
close.
interchangeable. These are almost
This-
tied.
Yeah, this is preseason rankings, and there's going to be clusters. Like we said, it's 1, 2, 3 for the first tier. I think it's 4, 5, 6, 7 for the next, and then it's probably 8, 9, 10, 11. Because I think right above Priest team is Beam's team, with Beam and either God or Squeeps needing to step up and really cement themselves as a third for that team to succeed. Because Half-Breed and BCK could probably carry you to playoffs, but they're going to need somebody to step up to have a shot at anything.
So I mean, with these teams, I would pretty much put them in order: Silva, Saints, Beam, and Cut Ditch.
That's
Again,
fine.
I'm not
I mean,
confident in Runner Ditch. Sorry.
That's fine. You put it that way and just let it be known that they're bunches. They're interchangeable there.
Yeah.
Because we mentioned, they're like Saints over Beam's team, just because of the way their teams are built. They're pretty similar. Encot's team with Gingy. Oh, you're gonna tank. Let's go with you tanking.
I'm going to be tanking most of the time.
This team's very dependent on Tommy.
Gingy likes to win. He
or
will
Lux.
tank if need be.
With Lux, the way I saw him play the 2 custom games tonight, as of right now, he's our 4th. And he's typical Dragon guy. He's capable of making plays and being a good 4th, for sure. That means just Encott has to run and take care of the bomb, and we'll be fine.
Gingy men's tank Encott run. I like the sound of that.
I don't think we win anything, but I think we make playoffs.
Can I put Digital Team 8, please?
Sure.
changing
Are you missing a team?
Squeeps? No.
I mean, it could be a toss-up between myself or Digital's team, so it's,
I'd
know,
rather you play some 7, but
I
Over
think
who?
you can see. I'll take 8 for our team right now. That's fine.
You'll be 7. Digital's 8. Everything's numbered 1 more. Because ranking is that 1.
No.
No, you're fine that way. It's basically coin flips of what you like or what you don't like. From NCOD till Digital.
listen, I'm telling you right now, BCK's team. Yeah, you got BCK with the bomb, but if Squeeps and Beam don't step up, Half-Breed is gonna be playing just like Zamp did this season. It's gonna be the fucking Half-Breed show, and if he doesn't do it,
Fuck you.
He'll be fine. Or we'll trade for him. Trade the rest of our draft picks. Bring Half-Breed over. And we're still gonna play the exact same way we were gonna play with him or without him.
yes.
100% launches.
Honestly, Alpha offers. No, never mind. I was gonna say, Clique RDG. You still don't give them Half-Breed. Now.
I mean, and this is starting to make sense. I think we got the top 3 pretty good. I like Zeg and Alpha at the bottom because they had arguably the most questionable picks.
That's rude.
Sorry?
Goat in the first round is
Pick
not
better?
rude. He would say it was dumb too.
Pick better? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Priest's team it's so top heavy because of the trade he made. He has he has 2 first rounders and 3 fourth round picks, and that's exactly what this team is. It's so top heavy.
I think he messed up on his 4, 5, 6. I think he could have got slightly better players with some trades, moving up to go get like a Jaga or a Nihilus or.
I think he should have gotten Drez to run when he's not there.
He
should have picked up a runner.
I think he could have gone like Noplex, Drez, and you can't get all of them.
No. I think you can still do it. You can still probably trade somebody for Drez. Like a Noplex or Sam.
I mean, after week 1, I can see these teams flip-flopping all over the place.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You want to lock these in?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Now, any dark horse picks of like breakout players?
Oh, I was gonna say breakout teams. It'd be my team. I told you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to playoffs.
Be expected to be surprised by your team for sure.
And then fucking lose like we always do.
So, I mean, I would argue Connor a breakout player then, because
I think Conrad or Nihilus
talking about
have a chance to be breakout players.
If I see someone on the bench moving into the lineup, it's by far Connor has the best chance of doing it.
I mean, you can also, I think you add Nihilus because if Nihilus runs for that team, he has a chance to, like, I don't want to say show off, but be in a better situation than a lot of runners are. Couple
this
seasons.
would be
Nihilus
the best situation he's been in since he's joined the league.
Yeah, it's a complete 360.
That's a very good point.
He's got the best tanking lineup in the league. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's like the 1-2 tanking lineup is.
Yeah, I also think
by far.
You can put those 2, and you can add Zeg to that list as well.
How quick are we gonna 180 on this and say he's being carried by a tanking line?
First game, guarantee it.
Sounds good to me.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
I mean, every runner's insult, right?
Get carried, trash
Not
bag.
Not that good. You're getting carried. You don't have to do anything.
Feels good.
I also think Zeg is another person to put up there, because if Zeg's tanking the way he's been tanking, we get Zeg of old, or at least preseason Zeg continues into regular season, maybe even playoffs. He's no longer going to be a top 4 pick like captain.
No, yeah, like Zeg, like the Zeg I played today is definitely not a top 4 pick. He easily,
you know what I mean? Like,
he easily passes
himself.
Alpha.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but Demon or Zim, but
I mean, he could
The
push
way he was
himself up
tanking,
there.
he was on par with Demon, or just under.
He was a monster today.
And if he can continue that way and get better or get stronger for the rest of the season, he can push himself up there. Like, tanking wise, I don't think Saints is better than Zim or Demon in 3. I think they're all roughly the same.
I think the top 3 teams are S. 4 to 6, 7, 8, if you want to. I feel bad because Digital's team could be fucking good, and we could just be drastically underrated. It's preseason, so I'm gonna say 1 to 3 is S, 4 to 6 is A, 7 to 8 is A minus B, and 9 to 11 is B.
Yikes.
I
B
refuse
plus.
that. 9 and 11 can be B plus. I request 12 is incomplete.
12? There is no 12.
Or sorry, 11 for us.
Damn,
is incomplete.
you're really reaching for the bottom there, weren't you?
100%, dude.
I think everybody's team right now is a question mark.
Mhm.
I think
And
captains
honestly-
are dumb and fucked up a lot. Like Priest's team could have been better. Digital's team should have been better with him not running.
Yeah, I also think it's like at some point you gotta play what you want to do. If Digital wants to run, he's gonna run.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 10 years into Grifball. Enjoy what you
Yeah.
got.
And I
think
also want to
Priest
throw one more
drafted
thing out.
more names than anything else.
But I'm
Yeah,
just
he
saying,
really
Ditch
did.
had a freeload ship and he threw it away.
And I just want to point out though, Jerez here sitting as player 5 on Zeg's bench right now. If things change, he could end up on Priest or Digital's team, and he could
Have a
finally
chance
have
to
his
do
breakout
something.
moment. If Jerez gets traded to Digital's team and Digital goes to
See,
tanking,
here's the thing, though.
that
I don't think you trade.
I bumped this team up way higher if you have this tanking line with Jerez running.
If I'm Zeg, because of Sket's availability, I don't trade Drez. Right? Like, that's your runner. You need that guy to be available. And Sket's, at least last season, was kind of hit or miss. And I know some things came up. So if I'm Zeg, I hang on to Drez for at least a good part of the season until you have confirmation that Sket's going to be there.
I'd like to see. I'd like to see Sket for Samuel Adams. I think it would change both teams a little bit.
But Zeg ain't gonna trade his
I
friend.
don't see Zeg making that trade though. That's why I'm kind
I
of
don't-
like saying I can
I
see
don't
them
see that
trading
value
Jerez
either.
because I can see this lineup just being like every single game. If they're like, yeah,
I mean, if
we'll
they
have one good season
reschedules,
together.
I assume they reschedule around their 4.
Could
Yeah.
you see like a Sket for Mist? Or Drez maybe for Mist?
That's what
see more
I'm thinking.
Drez for Mist.
Yeah, like I can see them
Drez for
or
Sonic
Martin,
because
like a Martin or
they-
Miss for Drez.
I wouldn't trade
No.
Martin. I think you'll be shocked by how good he is by the end of the season.
If Didge
Like-
realizes that he needs the tank, does he give up Martin to get a runner?
No, I think you just make someone else run. You
The
make Martin
only
or
way I
Mist
give
run.
up Martin is if you can go ahead and get somebody like Door.
You're not getting Door.
Or the Nihilus, which you're not getting. I mean, Martin for
You're not
Nihilus.
breaking up me and Door.
You know, Nihilus for Martin, then you get Star running, and you have Ace Fence Demon Martin. I don't think that makes them better or worse. I think that makes them better
that
on.
makes
I
them
think they
slightly better.
Yeah, I think that makes them better on defense because they have more kill potential. They're
I
gonna just
think I'm
push you to
really-
your wall.
I guess I'm really underrating Star's running potential here and just overrating his tanking because I just see this as like a duo that needs to happen. Like this duo is what defines
I
this
think it's
team.
more you're overrating. Like his running is really good. I wouldn't say it's like
As
better
good
than
as
any of
the
the other
tanking.
runners, yeah, but it's up there. He can land punches consistently.
He can
He
run.
knows his range. He can put himself in situations. He may not like have the feel completely to it, but in a pinch, he can do it. Plus, on defense, as Gingy said, it's just gonna be another annoyance of 4 fucking really good tanks to deal with.
Yeah, I think Martin could be a comeback player of the year for sure. Like even what I saw early on, he still dances. Like that's a really good sign for any tank coming back. The fact that he's not just giving up free kills, he's better than most of the pups that have been playing for the past 6 months.
Highlighted
You
my
know.
name, son of a bitch.
Does a Tone get a early nomination for comeback player, given the
I think he
circumstances?
can.
I mean, maybe, but he just played Reach recently, and
Did he?
yeah, he played a lot on the box. Well, I remember seeing him
When?
customs and stuff.
Oh, in the other league?
Yeah, the box leagues, didn't he? I thought he
I
did.
don't know. I didn't play those.
Yeah, me neither.
I think okay, like he can also do it.
Maybe he did.
Tank around. I think you give it to. There's a whole bunch of players you give it to, but I'd rather go back more to the breakout, like someone who we don't expect to blow up.
Drez, Conra.
Dragon guy, watch out. Or Tommy. If Tommy
There's
Tommy figures it out, we're gonna be
the
good as
fourth
shit.
from Encut's team. Zeg.
Played Halo 3 with Miss the Cold before, and I think she's gonna surprise some people this season.
She was good at Reach, and if you could tank at Reach successfully, you could be decent at Halo 3 without issue. That's just my opinion.
She's definitely gonna be a solid fourth, if not third.
Yep, it's just a matter of what they need. Do they realize, does Didge realize at some point that he could have a very, very easy ship and go ahead and just, try to get a runner? Or does he stay running and, hopefully Martin comes to form and Vancy picks it up and Mist blows up and next thing you know, they're freaking unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, it also can be said by Sket too. Like,
Yep.
if Sket shows up and plays and continues playing and doesn't do whatever the fuck he did last season, he should be
Dude,
okay.
if Sket Pie returned to classic Sket Pie,
he wasn't too bad last season. Pie wasn't.
Right, so their team will be phenomenal, right? Like Ace is just a jack of all trades. If Zeg tank's good, they're a team of what ifs, but those what ifs could be oh shits. So take that with a grain of salt.
And given how hard it was to rank these teams, I will go ahead and say that the Snake round 3 ended up working out in general. It could, like you said, it could have gone bad, but it didn't.
It should have. And here's the thing: you got people out there saying like it didn't change anything. Okay.
Well, I mean, it absolutely changed.
Then it doesn't change anything the opposite way. Right? Like you got people saying, "Oh, it doesn't even matter. Like look at it; it's still balanced." Flip this around, right? Do you see? You go Mist the other side, right? You give Priest Mist, and you give Digital God, or whoever went.
Noplex.
Or Noplex, sure. Does that really change a whole ton? No, it really doesn't. I don't think they needed it, and I think that a lot of them, like Rockies, wouldn't have gone to Silva, right?
Where would the Rockies have gone? Like that's not that's an interesting point. Like, do some of these players go to these teams anyway?
I think maybe Zeg takes him.
No,
Killerz.
Anyone that's not Skit.
I think Killerz will definitely be in this draft still, like 100%. I think. I don't think Rebs.
If Killerz stayed on this team, I would have really liked the look of that team.
Yeah, if Killerz was their fourth, they'd be ridiculous.
For competition's sake, I really wish Killerz gave it a shot.
Yeah. Actually, really wanted to see Killerz go to Zim's team because I like his teamwork with Rage.
Oh yeah, we were absolutely gonna take him if he fell to us.
So was Demon's team. They would have taken Killerz over Nihilus all day. Which means Nihilus would have fell. Jaga might have fell because of that. There would have been a whole bunch of different stuff going on.
I don't think we're taking Nihilus because you have Door.
Well, if you got Killerz there, you got RDG, don't you?
Well, I mean, like if Killerz goes in place of Nihilus, and Nihilus goes further down the draft.
He keeps going till he goes to another team that needs a runner. He might go to Priest or Digital, be a backup runner just in case.
Oh, Priest could have really used a Nihilus.
Yeah.
Like honestly, because of the ending captains kind of fucking this up, right? Between Dig, Priest, and Saints taking people that probably weren't going to get taken, or maybe.
AJ, why you gotta ruin things?
Because those ending three captains fucked it up. The middle captains really benefited. They got their runners. They got good fourths, right? Like Nihilus, Jaga, Corn Chip, all right in that area. RDG, right? Like that stretch shouldn't have had. That should have been the first captains. That should have been Priest. That should have been Zeg. That should have been Encott. That should have been Beam and Alpha. Just to be honest, like they don't have a digital, they don't have a Silva, right? Like they had to draft somebody in that spot where they got the captains to start out with it. I don't know. My advantage what I was told is when I signed up as a captain in a bid league, my advantage is that one, I get to build my team, or even a draft team. I get to choose where or who I go, right? Like I never got the added advantage of, oh, we're gonna snake for you so that you can get a better fourth. Like the difference is that I was always considered so much better than everyone else, just like Dig is so much better than Priest or Beam, that gap needs to be furthered as much as possible. So I just don't know why now all of a sudden we change that, even with the pool.
Because it's fun.
See, that's the only reason. Like, is because A, specific captains wanted to do it, and B, because it's fun. Okay, if it's fun, let's do classic. You get to play with friends. That's fun. If you don't like playing with friends, why are you playing? Like, I don't get it.
All right, we're pushing 90 minutes here. Do we have any final thoughts on this? On
AJ
anything?
run the league.
You say AJ joined the league?
AJ ruined the league. This is all his fault.
I
I
don't blame
didn't allow
AJ.
my boy Sniper Kid into the league again. That was
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
Papa Viper?
Yeah, he should have signed up sooner.
I mean, we tried to get him. Hey, Spence sent a shit ton of DMs.
Fucking dude, Sav would have been pumped. Papa Viper shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. No, I don't have anything else. That was it for me. Free Killerz. Ban him. You banned him for 2 seasons. I quit too. Fuck you.
Awesome, one less team to worry about.
Yep.
You want us to, yeah.
I won't bitch anymore. I won't play. That'll be it.
I'm sure
So-
they'll be just fine with that result. All right, GG's boys.
Oh, I know. I know they will be.
Next time we do this season, will probably have started. Well, might be like a day or two into games. I'm not sure when the schedule's coming out.
Find that out, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Looking
they
forward.
said Silva said we were starting Monday this week.
Like today.
So, yeah, he said we were starting right away this week.
Well, we're gonna reschedule then.
You leaving?
I
No,
assumed
Dor-
they're already picking up.
Door's in
by, like,
Maine or
Wednesday.
something. He's not even here.
Yeah.
He played on hotel internet today.
Oof.
He couldn't punch anything.
Couldn't see anything.
I think by Wednesday you have the schedule,
Oh,
and then there'll
so-
probably be games Thursday, Friday, and like the weekend. Because Galvin Halfree can only play on weekends.
Halfree can only play on weekends too.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
So, for most things. Gotta
Okay,
wake up
Gingy.
early, take the kids to school.
Play us out.
Said play us out. What do you want to hear?
I don't know, an outburst.
Outburst. Fuck the admins. There you go.
Alright.
Some bum ass decisions.
I was hoping for something a little different.
I don't know what you want.
Give us something similar to like, you remember how Snipe was in our team thread back in the Thundercats on fucking Grifball Hub?
No,
Give us one of those.
I
Oh.
don't remember.
I know what to say it on. It doesn't really matter because no one listened to the end of the other podcast because no one redeemed the 5,000 or 10,000 Griff points that I offered
Oh
to
yeah.
send me the DM. So it doesn't really matter. Idiots.
So what?
At
Idiots.
the end of the last podcast, I was like, oh, if anyone made it this far and is listening to this, send me a DM, and I'll send you like 5,000 or 10,000 Griff points in
Yeah.
the server.
I think he said 5,000 Griff points.
Yeah, I was just
Do
gonna
we- do we
hand it
just-
to him.
Do we just double that? I'll send 5. You send 5.
No, because I said it was only good for 1 week. They didn't get it. They don't.
I
I'm
have
not gonna.
like 2K Griff points and like 1,900 of that is from J-Bar. I don't think I've been given Griff points for anything. I think I've been forgotten every single time.
Sucks to suck a nerd.
Well,
I mean, it
damn.
doesn't bother me. It's whatever.
I keep
Damn.
just giving all mine away. I didn't even get mine from last season.
I think you gave. Well, you probably gave you guys all gave yours to Lino, and then he gave it to Jaga or something. He came into the server, gave it away, and then left.
Yeah. I didn't give mine to Lino.
Yeah, rich boy.
Yes, I have 2,839.
I knew he wasn't gonna stick around if we went to another game.
Wow. Well, that was the longest outro of all time. So I'm just gonna cut off the recording. No Griff points for you guys anymore. You already lost your opportunity. Suck it.
Sucks to suck. Go Lakers!
Yeah. Fucking Chargers lost though.
Sucks to
Gives
suck,
a
dude.
fuck about the Chargers. What?
Your quarterback's not bad though.
Yeah, Herbert?
Yeah.
Air Bear?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Air
East
Bear.
Coast promise.
At least I'm not a Giants fan.
Ooh.
Ooh.
My Cowboys won.